What's up, everyone? This is Dave from BetSum. Going to go over today's NBA daily fantasy picks and bets. We'll start out with a quick review of last night. My best lineup last night was 303. I kind of had Kyle Lowry a little too overexposed, and JJ Redick did okay. Kawhi Leonard did just okay. Sariq had a big game. I like this guy. He's on the rise. He's been doing well for me. Whiteside, Schroeder just exploded for 6K, and Wiggins had a nice game as well. Magruder definitely paid for his 3,400 salary. The winning team had 358 with Jeff Teague, who I was a little underexposed to, unfortunately. He also had Schroeder. He had Kyle O'Quinn, who we knew one of those guys was getting the points, and it ended up being O'Quinn that did it. And Towns, James Johnson, it was a good spend, and Cauley Stein picking up some of those DeMarcus Cousins minutes. So moving on to tonight's games, we have a 5-game set with 4 pretty high totals of 211 to 224, the highest game being the Rockets at Hornets, and the Jazz at the Mavericks being the only very low game that's up tonight. In 5-game sets or so, I do like to try and target a game or two and just go after them and take a chance. I think a good game tonight to do that with is the Rockets versus Hornets, obviously, because it's a 224, so kind of loading your lineup with them included heavily. Also, another one that I might light up is the Jazz Mavericks, simply because I think these teams will be faded for the most part. As far as some other players I like tonight, we'll start off with Yogi at point guard. The guy's off of a few days rest, as Dallas had a pretty big win the other night, and Utah is on a back-to-back, so I like Dallas tonight in general, and I like some of their players. Yogi is also a legit scorer. He's got huge upside, and people may be off of him due to his poor performance last game. At shooting guard, we're going to look at Kyle Korver tonight, 3,900 for a value play. He had a big game last night, going off for 38 points, and the price had not really been adjusted yet, so I'm going to assume that Cleveland is going to try and ride him while he's hot and try and get his confidence up as much as possible while they just got him and they're trying to work him into the game plan in the offseason. I also think that after LeBron got a lot of minutes last night, playing a back-to-back, they may give him more rest or even scratch him altogether. But Kyle Korver and people like Kevin Love may be the recipients of not only the hot hand being ridden, but also LeBron being scratched or having less time. At small forward, I'm looking at Wesley Matthews. I like him because A, I'm targeting that low-scoring game. B, he's got the number 1 OPRK. So I'm going to do a few of these 1 OPRKs or tough OPRKs to differentiate my lineup like usual. Wesley Matthews will be one of them. He is also off of a few days rest and has been playing like a monster, having 3 30 to 40 point games in the last 4, and actually 4 of the last 5. At power forward, we're going to go another value play here. Sariq, Dario Sariq at 4,100. He's had a pretty impressive and consistent last 5 games. He just had this 1-for-9 shooting night that resulted in 12 points. But he is a shooter. He's a scorer. He's a threat and has a pretty big upside. He can creep into the 30s. So I think he's a great price at 4K, and he may be on the rise right now. At center, we're going to do another differentiator with a bad OPRK with Rudy Gobert. I think he's an amazing price at 6,700. I think that although he has the number 1 OPRK, I can't think of who in Dallas can possibly guard him at the center position. So I actually think it's a great matchup for him, even though the DraftKings has him as the number 1 OPRK. So I love that play. I think he'll be extremely underowned, and I think it's actually a good matchup for him. At open guard here, we're going to go back down to a little more value play. Jeremy Lamb right now at 3,400. As you can see here, although he's not a starter, he's been getting a lot of minutes due to Zeller and Sessions being out. That shouldn't stop tonight. And he is a scorer, and he can get a lot of points. He can 10x plus his salary for sure. At forward, I'm going to go with Kevin Love here. And for similar reasoning behind why I'm going to go with Kyle Korver, and that's because I think that with Cleveland playing on a back-to-back here and LeBron getting a lot of minutes, there's a good chance he gets a lot of rest, doesn't go too hard, or gets scratched right before the game. So I'm going to kind of lean heavier on some other Cavs tonight, and I think that they both have pretty good value in a high total, what should be a faster-paced game than they usually play. For my big spend tonight, I'm going to go James Harden. I like him slightly better than Westbrook. I don't like LeBron, obviously. I think Isaiah is way too overpriced at the moment. He's a great player, but I think that 10K is just too much for him. Lillard, I'm not going to count on him going 2 in a row. I like that Harden's 16th white OPRK here, I think, is a little less attractive. So it makes my lineup a little bit different, and I think his salary down from 13.3, it's 1,000 down from last game. It's much more reasonable. So although he's not home like Westbrook, I do think that I like him to be able to score just as many points against Charlotte, who's terrible defense. And even though he's away, I like him, and I think he'll be slightly lesser owned than Westbrook, who's playing against the Cavs in a pretty big game with a better OPRK. As far as any sports bets go for tonight, I like the Mavs plus 2.5 at home versus the Jazz. The Mavs, like I said, are off of about 2 days rest, off of a pretty big win, and the Jazz are playing on a back-to-back. I think the Mavs are a little underrated right now, and I think it's a good spot for you to take the home plus 2 dog that the public is all over on the away side. So thanks for joining us. Come back tomorrow for more daily fantasy picks and sports bets, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Good luck today.